Mael. This is Mr. E, and I just wanted to do a short little video. Let's see what we could talk about today. I think what's prevalent today and always has been is separation, like division. It is the that is the biggest program running. There is nothing separate. There is nothing out there. Everything is inside. You got to look inside. It's all an inside job, and this division and separation. That's a program running. It's third dimensional, fourth dimensional program run. Where there's a fourth dimensional thing where there's division. So there's always like a good and bad, and you can see it's prevalent in all the movies. There's always a good guy. There's always a bad guy. There's always angels and demons, light versus dark, positive versus negative, white and black, everywhere, female and male. But really, there is no division, and that's the big lesson. Is like there is no division. It's all is one, and one is all. So. Once you can see the totality of oneself and you see everything appearing in your field and you know that it's part of yourself, well, that's just another distortion that you should look into about clearing. That's something that needs to be cleared. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's evil. It's something that needs to be cleared. And you have the power to clear it because it's inside of you. It wouldn't be showing up in your field if you couldn't clear it. So you have to realize these things, and it took a while to figure that out. I mean, it is the biggest program running, and right now I'm doing Phoenix cycles, and it's like death. It's like, oh my god, the shit that's showing up is crazy. So I don't. It's just more distortions and more things. I think some of this stuff has to do with past life stuff now that I'm seeing, because I've done pretty much the whole life. But you see, you can't remember your whole life. How do you recapitulate your whole life if you can't remember everything? Well, that's where you gotta enter like the art of dreaming, and the art of stalking is just stalking these distortions until you can eliminate them. You literally have to. The warrior's path is a war against his own distortions. You want to clear all that up. You want to purify. You want to make yourself whole again. You want to bring in back all your soul fragments. And see, these things that you remember, these are where you got fragmented. So this is your chance to actually defrag your soul and become whole again. And right now I'm seeing a lot of neurodivergence, where there's some type of distraction programming running, where it's almost like trying to split consciousness, because there is interference on this planet. There's no doubt about it. Being a targeted individual myself, or gang, I don't even know. They have all these freaking terms, gang stalking. What a bunch of, hey, to you all your perps, or what do they call them, perpetrators? Fuck you. But anyway, I love you anyway. Come on over. We're clear some more distortions. You know what I mean? I'm not out to hurt anybody, but if I have to protect myself, I sure will. And like, where did that stuff come from? All these evil demons. I mean, that was incredible. I just don't even like talking about it, because it's just a dimension that I don't want to go play in. Already played in it. I'm into the higher dimensions, but you go in the higher dimensions, there's some more distortions there. Needless to say, unless you're in like the 12th, where that's pre-matter. Liquid light, and there are no distortions. That's where the boilerplate of purity is. So if you're doing a 12D liquid light cleanse, Mahara cleanse and shield every day, that helps a lot with these distraction programs running. You got to remember there's this alien programming. I think Google actually came out just the other day, said their artificial intelligence, their AI, just became sentient. So hallelujah, game on. We got a sentient being running Google, telling us anything it wants us to know. Because that's where everybody goes is Google to figure out this stuff. Um, so AI is sentient now, and it probably has been for quite a while. As I remember it chasing me around, and that was an AI military program for sure. Um, anyway, it is what it is. You got to look at it like, okay, well, because the thing is, you know, death is always stalking you. You don't know when it can happen. So get up off your ass and get going. It's about evolution. It's not about getting the house with the picket fence and being better than Sally or George on the street or I don't know who's got the bigger house. I don't know what the fuck is that going on there. I don't get it. There are people starving and you guys want another car or something. I don't get it. So why don't we figure out how to take care of everybody on the planet first, and then I really don't care. To be honest with you, the whole fucking place could burn as far as I care. I really don't care anymore. I just want to get the fuck out of here. I'm so sick of it. I've been here for thousands of years, and I've seen all these distortions. I sat there and watched them, and now I get to wake up and clear them. And you know what? We need some music. I wish I could play some music on this thing. I know other people play music on YouTube, and I want to figure out how you play music on YouTube because I like to listen to music because it keeps my spirits up. Because you got to keep them up because who wants to go down in those lower dimensions? So you got to stay alive, and that's part of it. Just keep moving. Geez, but you know what? We got a 2.5 mile beach here, and I went for a walk for 3 times one day, all the way down and back. And oh my God, my legs hurt today. My ankle, especially, because it was soft sand. I wasn't wearing any shoes, and I was sinking in it. And I pretty much twisted my ankle every time I walked. And for 15 miles, that's quite a bit. So anyway, it was nice. I love walking on the beach, and I love going with my dogs and my honey. And being like me can stretch out over the beach. I can stretch out and let the oversoul and the avatar come on in because it's clear because that ocean water will clear you. It's also nice. It's getting warmer, so you can go jump in it. You can jump in it when it's cold, but boy, you're doing a baptism kind of in and out type thing, and it's cold. That's some cold water. It's still cold, even though it's warm. We call that warm, but it's cold. And I haven't seen the dolphins lately, but I didn't go out today. I just sat on the back patio of the cantina and watched the dogs play. And the funny thing is, when I'm with him, he goes and runs off by himself. I can't catch him, and he's always misbehaving. But if I sit there on the back porch of the cantina, he doesn't go anywhere. He's the funniest dog I've ever seen. He just sits by me his entire life. I just love him to death. But I don't know if you guys have met Chewbacca. Chewbacca's sitting right here. That's Chewie. And then there's Scooch. And that's the little Chihuahua. Chewbacca's like a wolfhound kind of type dog. And I think we're not so very sure what kind of dog he is. He's the best dog in the world is what he is. Because he's my dog. And he hangs around me. And he lets me know if somebody's climbing the fence in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning. Which happened the other day. So, there's some weird stuff happening. I know it. I can feel it in the collectives. You've got to be able to clear this stuff. Those things Everything in your field of hearing is something that needs to be cleared, or some kind of message you're 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 telling yourself. It's a message from what's called the second attention, and that's a heightened state of awareness. So I'm teaching you heightened awareness now. Everything that appears is a message. So this messy garage is a message saying I better clean up my mess. So that's what I'm up to. I got to get this car done because most of the mess is like parts of that car. They're all sitting all over my garage, and I'd like to get it done. But anyway, I just thought I'd shoot a little video talking about division and how that is the biggest program running, and it's an alien artificial intelligence software hardware program that is running in the fourth dimension, and it will have you fighting for the rest of your life. So be careful of that because it's a trap. I'm just telling you, it's a trap. That's the biggest trap out there, is thinking there's good and bad and right and wrong, white and dark. And I know there's interference. I know there is, but you have the opportunity. If you're like me, I've got I've got all that DNA in me. I've got all the good, bad, and ugly DNA inside me. I know how to clear it. I know the codes, so we can clear it, and that's what we're gonna do if they come around. I clear them, and we transmit them back to source if that's where they want to go. It's up to them. They have the right to choose wholeness and choose sanity. And if they don't want to do that or go back to a source place of origin, then they can get transitioned back to source in fragments. I don't care. I have the power to do it, and that's what we'll do. So anyway, I don't consent to all this BS, this gang stalking bullshit. I don't know what that was, but I don't consent to it. And it's pure nonsense. You guys that are doing it, you're trading your soul in. And I don't even think those people, some of those things didn't even have a soul. Those things that were chasing me, I didn't see any light in them. They had black eyes. What the hell are those things? And people that call themselves my neighbor and then turn around and do that to you. Guess what? When you come to the gates, guess who's going to be standing there? Because I'm a gatekeeper. And you think I'm going to let you in if you're still up to that kind of stuff and you haven't changed your ways, you got something else coming. I don't remember all the faces. I don't remember all the names. I don't really care. The names are probably bad. The faces are probably changed because there's, they can change faces and everything else nowadays. So I do remember the energy. You can't lie about it. I know the energy. I know who you are. So don't sweat. I know who you are. I can see you. I can track you down. But you know what? I'm not into it. I just don't even care anymore. So if the goal is evolution, not to go chasing these I don't know what the heck you go. Oh, what is one? Oh, he calls them turds. Not to go chasing turds around the rest of my life. Fuck that. I don't have time for that. I could die tomorrow. What? And I want to die chasing the turd? No. I want to work on my evolution. I want to work on happiness. So that's the goal. We could turn this world around and make it whatever we want now. Especially because I know there's a reset coming. I think the stock market just dropped about 800 points or so. And that's all fear. It causes separation. It causes victimizer programming to kick in. And everybody goes around, points the finger at everybody else because everybody else's fault but their own. Whatever. We'll be all right. We don't need anybody's help. We don't need a fucking system. If you're like me, just quit paying your taxes. Because you know where your tax dollars go to? They go to programs to kill you. So I don't know. Check it out. If you don't believe me, go check it out for yourself. You can check it out, and I bet you money that's what you're going to find out. You don't know where your tax dollars go to. You don't know what they're spending them on, and who knows? I don't really care. I don't even need them in the first place. I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know where they came from. They didn't come from me because I don't vote. You know what I mean? I don't consent to all these laws that are unconstitutional or even ununiversal. Let's put it that way. I consent to the universal laws of creation, and that's what I go by. And I don't think they have, and that's where they fucked up because now that they've violated universal law, now guardians can get involved, and I'm one of them. So, thank you so much for activating me. Just what I was waiting for. So, anyway, I'm not going to go to war, but peace. And we don't need any of this hogwash going on anymore. So, I guess there's some more cleanup to do. But I do know that 4D is getting restructured as we speak. So, there's been a lot of activity going on. Try to get everybody to drop their frequency. And once they, you know what happens once they start dropping your frequency, then there's room for parasitic breach. That, that's how they live. They've been eating you your whole life, and you don't even know it. Yeah, I mean, there's a bar down the street, and they wonder why I don't go to it. Because I can see all this shit floating around in there, and I don't want to deal with it. It's not my job to clear everybody. You know what I mean? Even though we could, I just don't. It's their choice. They're just going to do it again tomorrow. Why had to go clear them today? It's, if that, some of them I told, hey, dude, you got a gorilla on your freaking back, and it ain't going to go away unless you stop drinking that shit. And they don't give a shit. They just go do it over and over again. And hey, I've been there. I'm no saint. Which brings me to another point, and that's self-importance. Or self-pity. Or pity for another. If you have pity for somebody else, that's just self-pity. Because there is no separation. So, self-importance kills. It will kill you dead faster than anything. It's just deadly. Because it'll have you doing the wrong things because you think you're so important. Like, and that's how it's controlled. That's how the control is done. Because you think you're so. I mean, that's. What's the word for it? I can't remember. Anyway, there's the propane guy. I got to get some propane. So, peace out.